It's the simplest rule in the world is I just hire people that I like. That's like my gauge. If we're having an interview and you're telling me other things you can do and how good you are at this and that and blah, but I don't like you, I'm not going to hire you, because that's what matters more. Is like, I got to go every day and deal with this person, and so do all of my employees. And so I don't really care how good you are at your job. If you're a jerk or unreliable or anything else, I'm not interested. I'd rather have someone who's completely incompetent but easy to get along with, that I can train, someone that's somewhat malleable. I'm not hiring for skills and talent. I'm hiring for potential.
Yeah, the number one rule should be don't be an asshole.
Yeah, right. Exactly. No one likes an asshole. When we start work at 4:00 in the morning, we're all getting hot and heavy, busy. We're freezing cold. Like, you've got enough issues already you're dealing with, and then some guys are just a prick. It's like, I don't want to do that. I dealt with enough of that in the military. So.
No, but I suppose part of my other business is outsourcing, and I've noticed that if when I'm vetting some of these individuals coming through, if they start talking about problems at the sort of the interview stage, like, yeah, but how am I going to get paid? And I'm not really sure about, maybe that part of the job. What I've learned is, even though that might seem very minute at that stage, at the talking stage where I haven't even offered the job or anything else, that I've red flags all over the place now. Because if they're at that point of minutia, at that stage of the whole process, what are they going to be like once you open up the door and say, here it is, this is the island?
Well, you can also tell just by when you ask somebody about their last job. So tell me about what were you doing last? Tell me the good, the bad, the ugly, and then just sit back and be quiet and listen. Yeah. And everything you need to know comes out in the next couple of minutes. I mean, It's usually, my boss was an asshole, and the people were this, and the clients were this, and you're like, all right. Cool. So the door's over there. You get, or there's the other guy that's like, I really loved the job and I loved everything about it, but I just felt like the company was sort of stale. They weren't growing. It wasn't exciting for me. Yeah. And so I'm just looking for some. Those were the kind of conversations that I wanted to have. Was people were like leaving a job not because they were bitter or anything else, because they wanted self-development. It's like, that's the guy that I want. Okay, cool. Let's develop together.
Yeah, work ethic, values, like-minded conversations and interests, and just common decency. As it might sound so simple, but you can actually work with those values, because those values can turn into bigger things when you bring the ego into the scenario. What I found is that's when you have an issue, because one individual believes that everything is centered around them and who they are, and then they start poisoning or creating this toxicity within the workforce of, I wouldn't let him talk to you like that. I wouldn't do that. You shouldn't be doing that. You should tell him. He should know his place. Yep,
they poison the well really quickly, and it can take your company down.